Good day everyone, welcome to JD's channel. Today, we're going to discuss another topic. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials. Thank you and God bless.
Okay, a blessed day, everyone. Now we're going to discuss sinusoidal voltage and current. And again, I'm Engineer Jonas De Castro, your lecturer for this topic. So let's get started. Okay, so for the content, we have number one, the sinusoidal voltage and current. For number two, alternating current. Number three, properties of alternating current. And for number four, generation of alternating EMF or what we call electromotive force. So, ito yung content ng ating discussion for today. So, for introduction, historically, DC sources were the main means of providing electric power until the late 1800s. At the end of that century, the battle of direct current versus alternating current began. Both had their advocate among the electrical engineers of the time because AC is more efficient and economical to transmit very long distances. AC system ended up the winner. So, that time, ang pinakaunang naging source of ating electric power is originally the DC sources. And then, nagkaroon ng uh, battle kung saan yung new idea or new uh, sources, which is the AC source or alternating current, is uh, gustong or nagkaroon ng uh, kaibahan dito sa ating DC, which is mas ano daw siya, mas efficient and economical to transmit very long distances. Kasi nagkaroon ng battle among the advocates of the DC sources, ayan, and the advocates of the DC sources or AC sources. And that time, because may kinonsider silang more efficient, economical, and economical to transmit very long distances. Kaya, ang nanalo sa battle na yun is the AC system. Ano po? But, hindi natin maitatanggi na DC sources were the main means of electric power that time. Next is, thus it is keeping with the history sequence of events that we are or we consider DC sources first. Now, uh, we now begin the analysis of circuit in which the source voltage and current is time varying. So, ito yung kung saan yung ating source is nagbabago uh, from time to time or nagkakaroon ng pagbabago siya. Uh, Hindi siya constant katulad ng ating DC na kung saan kung ano yung initial or rated output niya. So hanggang dulo, hanggang maubos na yung ah, charge niya dun sa kanyang battery is still ang kanyang magiging output is, let's say, 5 volts. Ayan, so 5 volts siya, constant. Unlike dito sa ating pag-aaralan ngayon, which is the EC, nagkakaroon ng ah, pag-iiba-iba kasi nga siya ay alternating time varying po. So in this discussion, we are particularly interested with the sinusoidal time varying excitation or simply excitation by sinusoid. By the way, what is a sinusoid? So a sinusoid is a signal that has the form of sine and cosine function. So from the word itself, yung sinusoid is uh, a form of a sine or cosine function. So meron siyang uh, upper part and the lower part. So like the maximum and the minimum. Ayan. So mamaya mas makita pa natin kung ano ba talaga yung sinusoid na yan. So a sinusoidal current is usually referred to as alternating current. So yun pala yung ating alternating current is the sinusoidal current. Such a current reverses at regular time interval and has alternatively positive. Ayan, so meron tayong positive and negative values. Yun nga yung current kung saan nagkakaroon ng reverse or regular time interval at regular time interval. Circuit driven by sinusoidal current or voltage are called AC circuit. Okay po. So, ang tawag sa ating mga serkito na nagdi-driven or nag-ooperate yung ating sinusoidal voltage and current is called AC circuits. We are interested in sinusoid for a number of reasons. So, ano ba yung mga reason na yan? So, isa-isahin natin. First, nature itself is characteristically sinusoidal. So, yun yung una, yung nature ng ating AC. The nature of our AC is characteristically sinusoidal. So, kagaya na nasabi natin kanina, what is a sinusoid? A sinusoid is a form. Diba, nagpo-form siya ng sine and cosine function. Secondly, a sinusoidal signal is easy to generate and transmit. Okay, so yun yung pangalawang bagay kung bakit interesado tayo sa sinusoid or sa sinusoidal current or alternating current. So, it is easy to generate and transmit. Okay, so yun yung pangalawa. Pangatlo tayo. So, pangatlo, through Fourier analysis, any practical periodic signal can be represented by the sum of sinusoid. Okay, so in the Fourier analysis, mas madali at mas nare-represent nila yung mga periodic signals through the sinusoid. So, yan. Yung gamit din ng sinusoidal. Sinusoid, therefore, plays an important role in analysis of periodic signal. Ayan. Kaya, yan yung pangatlo na kahalagahan or use ng ating sinusoid. So, yung kung bakit importante siyang mapag-aralan. And lastly, or pang-apat, a sinusoid is easy to handle mathematically. So, yan po yung mga reasons why we are interested in studying sinusoid. Okay. So, ito naman yung mga aspects Okay po. Okay. So general aspects of direct and alternating current system. Ayan. So ito yung mga general aspect na ano po, na ating DC or yan, direct and alternating current system. So una-una is almost 90%. Okay, so 90% of electric energy is generated by AC machine. So yun yung unang bagay or unang general aspect with regards sa ating direct and alternating current system. So pangalawa, so a great portion of AC energy is converted to DC current. Okay? So yung ating mga AC energy, ano kino-convert natin sa DC current for us in many types of industry. So ito yung ginagamit para sa different industry kung saan kailangan ng DC current or ng direct current. Ayan. So like yung electromechanical industry, production of aluminum, manufacture of fertilizer, ano pa ba, railways and transportation, and even farm. Ano po, so kailangan talaga yan. Communication system, at home, motor application, elevators, printing presses. Okay, so machine, tools, steel mill, yan, so steel mill equipment. So yan yung mga direct or general aspects of direct and alternating current system. So, punta naman tayo sa advantages of AC generation or alternating current generation. So, una, accomplish economically in large power plant that may be located where fuel and water are abundant. So, yun yung isang advantage ano po, ng ating AC generation. Pangalawa is transmission over network of high voltage lines to distant load center is entirely practicable. So, ayan, katulad ng nabanggit natin kanina, di ba? Yung kaya nanalo si AC because of its pagiging economical at saka yung nakakapag-transfer, ano, so transfer to distant loads. Okay po. So, pangatlo, na advantage ng ating AC generation is that widely used in industrial application. So, like industrial motors, transformer equipment, and control devices. So, what is alternating current? Ayan yung ating kanina pang pinag-uusapan. So, here it is. Alternating current is the current which constantly changes. Okay, so this alternating current are current that constantly changes. Okay, so constantly changes. Constantly changes in amplitude. So, what is amplitude? Amplitude is the peak value, the maximum value, in which reverses direction at regular interval. So, ang AC, kaya sinabi siyang alternating because nagkakaroon siya ng alternation from the highest peak at the positive side and meron siyang minimum, ayan, dun sa baba, ano po. So, as we can see this figure, so, ito yung peak value yung sinasabi natin. Ano po, so, from this one, ano po, so, ito yung, sabihin natin, positive side. And then, ito yung ating origin. And then, ito naman yung sa negative side or sabihin natin the minimum. So, ayan. Ito yung ating, ito yung pagkakaiba, di ba kita natin, pagkakaiba nito sa DC. Sa DC, isang straight lang line. Straight line na isang diretsyo lang siya. Dito naman, kaya siya ay alternating. So, kita natin na siya ay may part na dito sa taas, may part sa baba, and then ito naman, tataas ulit yan. So, like this. Ano po, so, meron tayong first wave and second wave. As we can see here talaga, first wave, so, nag-iiba-iba siya. No? Ito yung first wave at the second wave, kita natin mas tumaas na yung kanyang amplitude. Ano po? So, that is the definition of alternating current. The current which constantly changes in amplitude. So, we can predict kung kailan ba ito na siguro masisense natin na ay mababa yung supply dito. Pero hindi natin ma-determine agad na yun ay uh, sobrang baba agad if we don't have, syempre, mga measuring instrument, Kaya, yung ating alternating current talaga is, yan, nagbabago siya ng ating, constantly, ng amplitude and at regular interval. So, ito yung ating figure for AC current. Sa AC current natin. Ayan. So, ito naman yung direct current na any ano manonotice nyo dito? Yan. So, syempre, nakita natin na siya ay straight line lang. Unlike din sa ating yung AC na meron siyang wave. Yung sine wave na meron dito sa taas, na meron dito sa baba. So, by definition, alam nyo naman to kasi na pag-aralan natin to doon sa ating circuits 1. Okay? So, just a review. The current flows only in one direction and that the amplitude of the current is determined by the number of electrons flowing past a point in the circuit in 1 second. So, ang circuit naman ni DC is, di ba? So, from negative to positive, yan, isang direction lang yan. Unlike doon sa ating AC na maaaring mababa dun sa taas, biglang dun sa baba ay iba. Tapos sa taas, pagtaas niya iba na din, tapos pagbaba iba na din. So, nag-iiba-iba siya yung amplitude niya at a given time or at an interval. Ayan. So, yun yung ating AC. And differences. So, ito, differences ng AC to DC or DC to AC. So, we set an example here. For example, a column of one electron moves past a point in a wire in 1 second, and all the electrons are moving in the same direction. So, ibig sabihin ito yung ating DC. And the amplitude of the direct current in the wire is 1 ampere. Okay, let's say, yun yung direction niya. So, ang inabot niyan is 1 ampere. Okay? Yun ay isang diretsyo lang. Similarly, ayan. If a half coulomb of electron moves in one direction past a point in a wire in half a second, take note that half a second, then the reverse direction and moves past the same direction or the same point in the opposite direction during the next half second, the total 1 coulomb of electron pass the point in 1 second. So, para siyang 1 second. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila is meron siyang first half, ano po, and meron siyang the next half or the second half, which is ito yung first half and yung second half. So, still, yan ay 1 second. Okay po. The amplitude of the alternating current is 1 ampere. So, still 1 ampere pa rin. Ang pinagkaiba nga lang, ayan, meron siyang half, nahati siya sa dalawa. So, yung first half and second half, siya ang bubuo dun sa isang 1 ampere. Unlike sa DC na isang diretso lang. Okay, so properties na tayo ng so na-define na natin ano ba yung sinusoidal. So, ano ba yung sinusoid? Voltage and current, di ba? So, yun yung mga also the circuit, ano ba yung AC circuit? So, AC circuit is yung circuit kung saan nag-ooperate yung ating AC or alternating voltage, alternating current. Okay, so properties, dito sa properties of alternating current. Okay. So, a DC, so i-discuss muna natin yung DC and then right after nitong ating discussion is yan naman ating DC. Okay. So, a DC power source such as battery outputs a constant voltage over time. Of course, once the chemical in the battery have completed their reaction, the battery will be exhausted and cannot develop any output voltage. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na constant yung kanyang output. So, kung anong rated niya, ba 9 volts or 5 volts, yun yung isusupply niya, yun yung ibabato niya, yun yung i-output niya until such time yung chemicals na nagkakaroon ng reaction upang siya ay magkaroon ng output na 5 volts ay naubos na o na-exhaust na or exhausted na, hindi na siya kayang magbigay ng output. Wala na. Or pwede siyang i-charge kung siya i-rechargeable or kung disposable. So, bibigyan tayo ng new battery. But until that happens, the output voltage to the right remain essential constant. So, yun, nagiging constant pa rin until siya ay maubos. The same is true for any other source of DC's electricity. The output voltage remain constant over time. So, yun po yung property ni DC. Ano po? Na talagang ang output niya remain constant over time. How about itong focus natin na properties of AC current? So, by contrast, an AC source of electric power changes constantly in amplitude and regularly. So, nagbabago yung ating amplitude at regular basis. Okay? Because the changes are so regular, alternating voltage and current have a number of properties associated with any such waveform. So, ano ba yung mga parts? Or ano ba yung mga dapat natin taan? Or ano ba yung properties ni AC current? Ayan. So, talakayin natin ngayon. So, these basic properties include the following list. So, una is the frequency. So, ano ba yung frequency? Frequency is the most important properties of any regular waveform. Identifies the number of cycles or complete cycles it goes through a fixed period of time. So the frequency is identifies the number of complete cycle it goes through a or through in a fixed period of time. So, yan po yung frequency or yung dalas. Ano yun? Yung dalas. Mamaya makita natin yung mga sample. So, identify the numbers of complete cycles. Again, complete cycle. Ano? Yun po yung frequency. It identifies the number kung ilang pagka ang cycle na kumpleto na nagawa doon sa ating fixed period of time. So, kung halimbawa sa ang period of time na sinet natin is 1 second. So, 1 second siya ay naka-limang complete waves. So, yan, ang frequency natin ay, yan, 5 cycle per second. Ayan, kung nakalima. And then, kung makikita pa, di kung ilan ang kanyang complete cycle per second. Ano po? Kasi nga, ito yung ating fixed period of time. Let's say we consider kada segundo. O di kung ilang complete cycle siya, kada segundo. For standard measurement, the period of time is 1 second. So, yan. 1 second nga, isang segundo lang ang ginamit para ma-measure yung ating frequency. Ano pa? Okay. So, the frequency of the wave is commonly measured in cycle per second. So, cycle per second in normal in usage is expressed in units of hertz and it is represented in the mathematical equation by the letter or small f. Yan po yung ating symbol for frequency. So, ito na. Yan. Okay, so 1 second, nakailang cycle kaya siya per second. So, ito, naka sa dalawa, tatlo. Ayan. So, paano ba niya mineasure yun? So, since nandito siya, kailan ba masabi natin yun is complete cycle? Basta siya ay may isang positive at isang negative o yun po ay considered isang cycle. So, halimbawa, dito nag-start. So, ito is half cycle lang yan. And then, pag bumalik siya doon, yun ang one complete cycle, kaya yan ay 1. Tapos, ito, 2. Ito ay 3. Ito ay 4. Kaya yan ay merong 4 cycle per second or 4 hertz. Ayan. Ito naman, 4 kasi ito, madami ito. So, naka 14 cycles siya per second. So, 4 hertz. Ayan. So, ang hertz po natin yun ay nanggaling sa tao na naka-discover or nag-discover or nagkaroon ng pag-aaral dito. Kaya, yan. Hindi, binigay sa kanya yung honor para sa cycle per second, which is the hertz. Yan. Meron din tayong high frequency wave. And, yan. So, yung ating low frequency wave. So, yan po yung ating mga frequency. At ito pa, yan. So, ito yung sample natin mga frequency. So, meron tayong 110, 220, 440, and 880 Hz. So, yan ay kada segundo. Ano po? So, yun yung una, yung ating frequency. And then, jump tayo sa pangalawa. Ang pangalawa natin is period. So, sometimes we need to know the amount of time required to complete one cycle of the waveform. So, ito namang period is the amount of time required to complete one cycle of the waveform. So, kanina, di ba yung ating frequency is ilang complete cycle sa kada segundo or nagset tayo, di ba, ng time. So, kada segundo. Ito naman, yung amount ng time para complete ng 1 cycle. So, ibig sabihin, sobrang bilis nun. Ano? Ayan, to complete 1 cycle di ba? Pag sinabi natin 1 cycle is may isang positive ka at negative. So, yun, isang buo na yun. Ibig sabihin, yun yung minimeasure ni period. Yun pala si period, ano? Basta one complete cycle ka. So, ilang amount, gaano kabilis, ilang segundo, ah, nagawa yung isang complete cycle. So, rather than the number of cycle per second of time, which is yung kanina, is logically the reciprocal of frequency. Ayan, yung nakabaligtaran yun. Kasi si frequency is, di ba, in a cycle per second, di naman, ah, second per cycle. Ayan, second per cycle, or time per cycle. This logically the reciprocal of frequency. The speed is the time duration. Okay, so it's the time duration. 1 cycle of waveform and is measured in cycle per second. So that is the period. Okay, so let's proceed sa pangatlo. So ito pala yung ating picture. So ito yung ating period. So ito hanggang doon. Basta ito makakompleto ng isang complete cycle. Pwede din naman dito. Ito hanggang ito. So isang complete cycle yan. Okay, pag dito ka naman sa ilalim nag-start. So isang complete cycle naman ang papunta dito. Ang papunta dito. Isang complete cycle. So, yan yung ating amplitude, yung ating period. Ito kasi nag-start, kaya dito siya magtatapos because nakalati lang siya nag-start. Okay, so this is the period. Okay, meron tayong 0 to 0 and 50. So, again, period is the amount of time to complete one cycle or one complete cycle. So, ito yung formula natin. Since frequency is equals to reciprocal ng ating time period, which is ginagabi natin kasi is big letter T. So, Pn over 120. And then, yung ating yung T, which is the time period or the period, is 2 pi over omega. Where F is the frequency in hertz or cycle per second, T is the period of sinusoid. Okay, so P is the number of poles, and N is the repetition in RPM. So, yan yung pangalawa. Ito naman yung pangatlo. So, ano yung pangatlo ngayon? Ito yung pangatlo. Ano ba yung pangatlo na yun? Waveform. So, ano yung pinakaiba ng waveform doon sa nakaraan? Dalawa. Waveform is, it is the length of one complete wave or cycle. It's the length naman. Kanina sa time period yung time kung kailan kung gaano kabilis ayun time para ma-achieve yung isang complete cycle. Ito naman yung haba naman in meters naman to. The Greek letter lambda is used to represent the waveform in the mathematical expression. So lambda is equals to velocity over frequency. So yun yung formula niya. So as shown in the figure below, so mamaya mas makikita natin yung figure niya. Sabi, wavelength can be measured from any part of one cycle, the equivalent point in the next cycle. So wavelength is very, so ito yung sasabi ko kanina yung iba't ibang yung sa waveform natin. Kung sakaling doon ka sa taas, nagsimula di sa baba ka magtatapos. Pag namantik ka natin, edi nakalati ng isa ka magtatapos. Ayan. So, wavelength can be measured from any part of one cycle to the equivalent point in the next cycle. Wavelength is important or very important to period as discussed above, except that waveform or wavelength is measured in distance per second, while period is measured in time per cycle. Okay po. Next, ito yung sample ng ating wavelength. Ano po? Yan. And then, ito yung ating formula. Lambda, or the wavelength, equals the velocity over frequency, where lambda is in meters, velocity is meter per second, and frequency in hertz, or second per second. So, the next one, yung pang-apat. So, pang-apat na tayo. Ang pang-apat po is yung ating waveform. They are basically a visual representation of variation of a material or current plotted on or to the base of time. So generally for AC or alternating current waveform, this horizontal baseline represents zero condition under the current and voltage. The most common period signal waveform that are used are sinusoidal waveform. So kaya yan yung pinakakadalasang ginagamit. So yung ating sinusoidal waveform. So AC waveform can also take the shape of the complex wave, square wave, or triangular wave, or etc. So ito yung ating mga waveforms, yung kanyang mga formula for RMS and formula for the average. So, ayan. Be familiar sa mga formulas and mga itsura. Ano pa. And then, ito naman yung pangalawa. Meron tayong semicircular at trapezoidal. Ayan. And also yung square natin. Nandiyan din. Okay, so properties of alternating current. In discussing alternating current and voltage, you will often find it necessary to express the current and voltage in terms of maximum peak value, peak-to-peak values, effective values, average values, instantaneous values. Each of these values have different meaning and is useful to describe different amount of current or voltage. Yan. So ito yung this basic property include the following. So una is yung sinusoid. Ang makita po natin dito is yung wave ng ating voltage and current, which is in phase. Ano pa natin malalaman pag siya ay in phase? Pag sinabi natin in phase kasi, siya ay dumaan dun sa mga same point. So, katulad nito, magkaiba lang ang kanilang amplitude, syempre. So, ito, mas mataas yung voltage sa current. Pero pag sinabi natin in phase, siya ay same ng dinaanan. So, as we can see here, same yung kanyang dinaanan. Kaya siya ay in phase po. And ito yung formula for sinusoid. Ayan po, ito pong formula na nilagay natin dito is yun ay instantaneous value. So dito, IM or yung ating maximum value times sine over tan theta. So dapat makuha natin yung value ng theta. No? At ito po yung naka-degree. And then dito naman, ito yung naka-radian measure na. Pag ginabi natin sa calculus, naka-radian measure na po. So yung ating formula, okay, I am sine omega t and E m sine omega t. And meron pa ulit. So yung ating I am sine omega 2 pi ft, where 2 pi f is equals to omega. Yan. And E m sine 2 pi ft. So ito yung ating mga symbols and yung kanyang ibig sabihin ko. And then next one is the basic properties. Yan, so isa pa din dyan is yung ating maximum peak value or amplitude value, can be voltage or current. So refers to the figure 1.7. It's the maximum voltage or current, the peak value applies to both positive and negative values. So ito yan, yung ating peak value. So, peak value natin. So, peak value dito sa baba, dito sa kabila, which is the maximum and the minimum. So, is the greatest value of each, or of either voltage, of either voltage and current that the waveform reaches during each half cycle measured in zero base. Okay, so alam naman natin yung zero base, yung horizontal pa, ano? And then, so ito yan. Ito yung ating zero base. Ito yung ating maximum. Ito yung ating minimum. Okay po. So, malapit na po ako matapos. Counting na lang daw yan. So, peak-to-peak value naman. So, ano naman yung peak-to-peak value? During each complete cycle of AC, there is always two maximum or peak value. So, katulad sinabi natin kanina, di ka meron kayong maximum and minimum. So, those are the two values. Okay? So, one is the positive half cycle and the other is the negative half cycle. So, the difference between the peak positive value and the peak negative value is called peak-to-peak value of the cycle. So, yung pala yung, ang peak-to-peak value pala is yan, the difference between the peak positive value and the peak of negative value. So, yun po pala yung peak-to-peak value. Ano po? And also, this value is twice. So, tinoble. Tinoble pala ng max. Ito ng maximum or peak value of a sine wave or is sometimes used for measurement of AC voltages. Usually, alternating voltage and current are expressed in different values rather than in peak-to-peak values. Okay? So, yan po yung ating peak value. And then, ayan. So, dito, yung sinabi nga sa definition kanina, so, yung kanyang maximum and the minimum. Okay po. So, ano naman yung phase? Yan. Pag-usapan naman yung phase. Ano ba yung phase? Phase is meant the fraction of time period of alternating current which has elapsed since the current had passed through the zero position or reference. So, ang phase natin na sinasabi is na yung fraction ng time or bahagi ng time period, so that alternating current has elapsed since the current had passed through the zero position of reference. So, yan po yung ating phase po, ano. So, it is the fraction of time. Ayan. So, next is naman yung ating, natin yung ating phase angle. So, yung phase natin na, sabi na natin yung kanina is yung, ano sabi na doon? Yung fraction of time. Ayan, fraction of time of alternating current which has elapsed since the current had passed through the zero position. Next is the phase angle. So, it is the difference in the degree between the voltage waveform and the current waveform having the same periodic time. So, ito yung angle na nabubuo or yung nasa pagitan ng ating voltage and current. Ano po? So, dito may sample ata. Ayan. So, yung pagitan nila, so it will form theta or angle. Yun po yung phase angle. So, yun, nagkaroon siya ng ano. So, ano yung phase angle dyan? Ano yung phase angle dito? Ano yung phase angle dito? So, that is the phase angle. Yung pagitan ng ating voltage and current kasi yung ating dito current and voltage yung nasa graph. Angular frequency, it represents the behavior or it represents the phasor. Yan, phasor, a relationship between two or more waveform. This is a rational unit of angular frequency. So yung ating 2 pi f with units in radian per second. The complete revolution of one cycle is 365 or 360 degrees or 2 pi f. Therefore, half a revolution is given by 180 or so pagkalahati lang. So ito yung kanyang formula. Omega is equal to 2 pi over t, naka radian per second, and omega is equal to 2 pi f, which is yung ating radian per second. So, sunod is yung ating phase different values. So, they are the same, but their maximum or zero values are not reached simultaneous, but one after another. So, the division is applied by using the term lag or dito nangyayari, nagkakaroon tayo ng lagging and leading. So, maaring nauna si voltahe kaysa sa ating current or maaring naman yung current natin ang nauna kaysa sa ating voltage. Yan. So, ang tawag din po yung ating phase different values. Ano po? Can be either or can be uh, lagging or leading. Ano po? So, either lagging or leading. Sagot po natin. And then, ano naman yung pag-usapan natin? Ano ba yung leading? Ano ba yung lagging? So, pag sinabi natin leading, a quantity or alternating quantity is one which reach maximum or zero value earlier as compared to other quantity. So, mas naunawaan niya at mas maunawaan natin na ang leading pala is yan, na-reach niya yung maximum or zero. Pero mas nauna siya dun sa isang quantity. Ang quantity naman dyan, dalawa lang yung kalimitan dyan is yung ating voltage and current. Ano po? So, mamaya may sample naman tayo makikita. So, ano naman yung lagging niya? Lagging naman. So, the alternating current is which reach the maximum or zero value than the other quantity. So, ito yung nali. Ito yung nahuli na mas nauna yung isa. It's either the voltage or the current. So, yan. Ito na ngayon, bakit nagkakaroon ng leading or lagging? Because of the load. So, kita natin dito, wala siyang leading or lagging because ang load niya naman si resistor lang. Kumbaga, voltage in phase with the current. So, walang problema dito sa ating resistor. Kasi siya naman ay in phase. So, yun po yung in phase natin. Pag ito ay naka-vector diagram, tapos nakita naman natin pag siya ay waveform, di ba? So, yung dinaanan niya is may common point. Dito naman pagka voltage lags by 90 degrees. So, ibig sabihin yung ating voltahe ay bumaba or na-late. Na-late ng 90 degrees. So, paano ba naging 90 degrees? So, ito, hindi ka 90 degrees yan. Okay, so let's say baka 45 to 45 degrees yan. And pag naman ang load natin inductor, so voltage leads, nag-leads naman siya ng current na by 90 degrees. So dito naman din, 90 degrees pa din. Ayan. Yan po yung reason why nagkakaroon ng leading or lagging. So, yung ating loads ay hindi na naman dito. So, ito yung ating, di ba yung nakita natin kanina yung vector diagram. Ito na yung wave diagram. Ano po? Yan. Pagka resistive load, inductive load, or capacitive load. So, average value. So, ano ba yung average value? Is expressed by the steady current which transformed by the alternating current driving uh, the same time. So driving at the same time. The arithmetical average or mean of all values of alternating party is uh, over one cycle. So yung mean, so pag sinabi kasi average is the mean. Ayan, so ito yung kanyang formula. Average ng I is 2 times yung ating uh, peak value sa current over 5. Wala namang voltage, so yung 2 times ng ating uh, highest yung peak voltage yan, over 5. And then, average value then is equal to 0.636. Yan ang ating average value. So, average of all the constant values. So, in average value, if all instantaneous values of half cycle, in general, average value is equal to the area under the curve. First, for sine beta 1, average value is equal to 2 times the maximum value. And then, ano ba yung crest factor or peak factor? So, it is the ratio of maximum value to the RMS value, which is yan, meron tayong value. Pero yan ay for sinusoidal lamang. Then, meron tayong sinusoid na formula, peak factor maximum value is equals the maximum value over ng RMS value. So, meron na din tayong daan para sa sine wave. Form factor naman, ano ba yung form factor? Is the ratio of RMS value to the average value na or 1.11 para sa ating sinusoidal. Ayan. So, knowledge of this factor is of importance in so, wait lang po, parang ito ay ayan, wait lang po. Saan na ba tayo? Nasa form factor, yan. So, knowledge of this factor is of importance in the electric insulation testing. So, yun po yung kahalagahan ng ating form factor. Kaya po, kailangan natin maintindihan dito. So, because the electric stress to which the insulation is subjected is proportional to the maximum peak value of the applied voltage. Ayan. So, yun yung kahalagahan ng ating peak or form factor. Form factor is also necessary when meaning iron losses because their loss depend on the value of the maximum flow. So form factor is equals to RMS value over the average value, or for sine is 1.11. And then yung ating root mean square or the RMS or the effective value yan. Ano ba yan? So the RMS value of the alternating current is given by the steady state current na DC, which when flowing through a given circuit for a given time produces the same heat as alternating current when flowing through the same circuit for the same time. So, yun yung property naman ng ating root mean square or yung ating RMS, ano, na it can produce the same heat produced by alternating current. So, yung ating RMS defined as the root mean of the average of the square of the given quantity taken over a complete time. So, RMS value is the maximum value over or the amplitude over the square root of 2. So yun po yung ating amplitude, square root of 2 or 0.707 na ating maximum value. So generation, so we are now on the last so yan, ating generation of alternating EMF or electromotive force. So a voltage can be developed in a coil. So meron kasing meron pa tayong tatlong ways kung paano ba yung mag-produce. So a voltage can be developed in a coil of wire in one of the three ways. So una is yung by changing the flux to the coil. Pangalawa is moving the coil through the magnetic field. And pangatlo, by alternating the direction of flux with respect to the coil. So yun yung tatlo na isa-isahin natin na po. Unang is by changing the flux to the coil. So may mga formula na ginagamit pagka ito is yung changing the flux to the coil. Okay, so ito po yung ating formula. Pwede nyo magamit sa computation. So number 2, moving the coil through the magnetic field. So ito naman, i-move mo lang. And pangatlo, by alternating the direction of the flux with respect to the coil. So ito yung ating formula sakaling papatanggal yung problem. So ito yung ating alternating EMF na napoproduce kada phase angle niya. So makita natin ang taas. At meron din ang mababa pero may mataas. And also this one, how pag sinabi kasi natin instantaneous, yun yung value ng isang current or voltage in an instant. So, sa ganun lang sandali. Hindi yung kabuuan, kundi sa isang sandali lang yung instantaneous value. So, for your learning assessment, make a video recording of what you have learned from our discussion. Okay po. So, that's all for today. And I hope you learned something sa ating discussion. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe dito sa ating channel. So, thank you and God bless. To God be all the glory. Okay po, so don't forget to share. Okay, so like and subscribe. And hit the bell button for more tutorials. Thank you and God bless po.